Howdy YouTube, so fixed are good here. So today we are going after the wheel bearing on the Suzuki X.7, however you want to 7 or XL7 or whatever. But so we got wheel bearing's bad. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna show you how to do that. Also, I know this might be a part of this video or it might be just a separate video itself. We're gonna do the CV axle boot. So on this side it's cracked. This side it's ripped open. So I'm gonna show you how to clean that. There's a special way you can take a boot and you can stretch it over there and stuff. But right now we're just gonna focus on taking this thing off. So I'm gonna show you what to do. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this tire off. Okay, so now that the tire is off, you have this big plastic cap, and if you look here up the top, there's a notch, and here there's a notch there, right there. You get your screwdriver behind it, kind of pry out, and you should be able to pull it off just like that. Okay. So next step is that you're going to take these off, because this is like your mechanical hub for your four-wheel drive. So you're going to go ahead and take this off. So now you pull this off, and you look inside, and you have this Phillips here, and this Phillips here, and there's another one up here, down here, and those are like set screws, so it's going to keep this in place where you have this big notch. You take that off, and we'll see what's behind that. Alright, so now that that's off, you have this big circle thing with all these different holes for your screws, and this is what keeps your bearing tight. So this one's super loose. They're just going to rotate it off. And this is actually what you torque down to your specified torque to keep your wheel bearing snug and torque to a certain specific torque. So it's not too loose, not too tight. So you take this off and I'll show you what to do. So after the other things out of the way, you got this big washer here. And then you expose the back. So I'm going to see what you got after that. You got the snap ring. We're going to get that snap ring, and that should allow our shaft to slide in and out, because then we're going to start going after our alignment stuff. Go ahead and start tapping on this outer tie rod end. It'll pop loose. So if you're going after the axle like I am, you're going to have to take off your brake calipers, and you're going to tie these up with like a bungee cord in order so you don't put too much tension on your hose. So you're going to need some snap ring pliers to get the snap ring out, and then there's going to be a washer behind it in order to take that out. At this point, you want to go ahead and take this clip out, take your brake line out, and then you're going to take the bolts out in order to take the ABS sensor out, and then you have to take the whole hub out. This is a 12mm bolt. Take out this ABS sensor, then you'll want to twist a little bit, maybe put some lube on it. So this is the clip that you're going to take out. Take a little pry bar and just pry it out. Any questions, just give me a comment down below in the comments section here. So then you want to go ahead and take out these 17mm bolts, and you want to take a punch through, and you're going to want to support the bottom, because there's going to be a lot of spring tension, and then you're going to be able to let it go, and you're going to have to take a puller here and put a puller in place and pull this out. So your next step, on this side at least, you have to take a punch and just kind of drive it a little bit, and then it'll pop out, and you get it with a pry bar and get it to come out the rest of the way. On the other side, it has bolts. Alright guys, what I'm going to show you is this axle is bad, so you can get a boot kit, which is made by Dorman. This is your part number here. So we're going to take our handy dandy oil filters, make converted into this, and we're going to stretch our boot over here, clean all this out, take the whole boot off, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So we're going to take a screwdriver and spread this apart. Now that you got the old boot off, I went and I cut it and slid it off. We're going to take this. We're going to put it in our vise. So in our kit, it comes with grease. So I'm going to cut the grease. I'm going to put grease on each side, and we're really going to lube it up really well. So you want to take your boot and put it on, and turn it inside out and put it on backwards. The big end down. I'm going to stretch it on there. So hands are clean. You're going to stretch it down. So now what we're going to do is we got to clean our boot, put it up on place, and then put our clamps down. Which are these clamps here. You have to have a special tool that looks like... I'll show you when I find it, but put this back in place, and you go ahead and put a clamp down here. Sometimes you can do tie wraps on the bottom, but not the top. So once you get the boot kind of expanded back out, you want to take your grease that came with the kit and kind of squeeze it in there. And just kind of squeeze it up into where the bearings go. You don't want to just throw it down here because it's not going to get to where it needs to be. So you just want to go up here where the bearings are, and then we'll put our clamp. So this clamp just slides through, and then have a tool like this, where this wire goes in here, and you twist it, and then you bend this over where it's tight, and then tap these over. Both your axles back in place, and your boot's back in there. Then you go ahead and put everything back on that you took off, and go the other way with it. So to get your axle back in, you kind of want to lift up a little bit, put it in place, and then just kind of tap on the end with like a dead blow hammer. You don't want to mush from the end threads or anything like that. Not with a hard hammer. You just like this one, and then just get it in place. So when you get your new piece, just grab it and you slide it in, and it bottoms out. That's basically it. And then you put everything back in, and I'll show you how to tighten down your nut. So you want to tighten this and then just snug it a little bit, and you got a tool inside here, and there's a special torque for this. I'm not too sure what the torque is. I think it's like 50.
Howdy YouTube. So thanks for watching my video, really appreciate it. Main things you want to get from that is that's how you put the boot on your CV axle, and I just kind of stretched it over there. And you want to go ahead and use those clamps, those metal clamps. Those are the best clamps you have. You use a zip tie or something like that. A zip tie can come off pretty easily, so your best chance for it not coming off on you is if you use the metal clamp. The other thing is that when you do the grease in the CV axle, you make sure that you take that grease and you work it up in there really nice, because if you don't, it's going to have dry sockets, then it's going to wear out, and you're going to have a clicking noise here in about 1,000 miles or so. Now on to the wheel bearing. Wheel bearing, I got that into place, and I didn't look up a torque spec or anything like that because I've been doing it for so many years. So I just go ahead and what you do is you tighten it down, and then you back it off a little bit, and then you tighten it just a little bit. It's all by feel because I know what I'm doing. You need to look it up. Just try to find a spec, because you got to do it with a needle and a foot-pounds like torque thing. So you move it, and the needle moves a little bit, and it gives you like the preload for your bearing, because the bearing has to be at a certain preload. If the bearing's not at a certain preload, it's going to come loose like it did on this, because another shop before us did it and it came loose. So that's why we were doing it. And if you don't do a proper preload, it's going to wear your bearings, and then you're going to have all kinds of issues. But yeah, so if you liked my video and you guys really thought it was a good video, let me know. Give me a comment down below. It's the first time find one of my videos, give me a like, give me a subscribe. I appreciate it. Tell a friend about it. My goal here is just to make you your own mechanic and save you a couple bucks and just make it easier on you in the long run. But just, if you're a subscriber, thanks. I really appreciate it. We're almost at 450 now. I really appreciate it. Never thought I would have got this far. And it's really nice. Thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll hopefully have another video out for you next week or so.